Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, it's Monday, so I got all my notes here. Usually I like to do poetry. I keep reminding everybody the poets say it really good, and if you can't articulate it yourself, we got plenty of wonderful people throughout history who can. This is from Kabir, 14th century Indian saint, claimed by both the Hindus and the Muslims. Friend, please tell me what I can do about this world I hold to and keep spinning out. I gave up sewn clothes and wore a robe, but I noticed one day my cloth was well woven. So I bought some burlap, but I still throw it elegantly over my left shoulder. I pulled back my sexual longings, and now I discover I'm angry a lot. I gave up rage, and now I notice that I'm greedy all day. I worked hard at dissolving my greed, and now I'm proud of myself. When the mind wants to break its link with the world, it still holds on to one thing. Kabir says, listen, my friend, there are very few who find the path. So it's so strange, yoga posits the idea that we're all in some kind of bondage, we're all kind of stuck. Yet at the same time, the attempt to get away from that, to lose our attachment to being incarnate, is another kind of attachment. What to do? Very few find this path. Anyway, last week or so of my disappointing affirmations before I get back to toxic positivity, friends. So here we go for you guys out there. Every morning, wake up and scream your dreams into a garbage can where they belong. Oh, that hurts. But that's what they like. All right, so for my journaling friends, this is an interesting one. How do you know when you're being loved? Being made to feel safe, people serve you, people admire you, people physically give you affection, people are there for you, whatever it is. How do you know when you're being loved? It's good if you can recognize it, so that when you are getting love, you can get fed by it instead of think how come nobody loves me? So let me know how do you feel like you're being loved, and I'll share with you if you pong it back to me. All right, so my yoga teacher, BKS Iyengar, says yoga is about stilling the intricacies of consciousness. Merging the individual soul with the universal soul has been the classical definition for a couple of thousand years. It's such a fascinating and baffling subject that's abused by intellectual ignoramuses who have no practice, no experience of it, just intellectual understanding. And of course, yoga is a pedagogical adage that takes you from the concrete to the abstract. You start with the ethics and the body postures, and you end up with a mystical revelation about the absolute, universal, invisible spirit. Wow, interesting. My rabbi also calls the whole approach to being conscious as the Contemplative Mind Gym. When Alexander the Great came to the Indus Valley, he met a guru, and he coined the phrase there from listening to the different teachers there called Gymno Sophists. Gymno Sophists, that they worked with the body, but they were really discovering wisdom as a result. So it's true that body work clears a lot of pent-up tensions, hidden memories and phobias. And of course, as you work on forgiveness for yourself, for other people, you ask forgiveness, you work on self-acceptance, they become like prayer tools for your own contemplative life. Now, unfortunately, a lot of gold, a lot of the wonderful aspects of human personality have been beaten out of people's ego through shaming experiences. And that's why the trickster has to deconstruct the pompousness, the ego, self-aggrandizement, which keeps us all from working constructively and cooperatively with each other. And I have to admit that a lot of times we say men don't like to be told what to do, typically don't like to be told what to do, especially if they're cisgender and their wife tells them what to do. But we also say that we also have a court jester inside ourselves. because the king on the throne represents a certain kind of exaggerated pride, a sense of power that doesn't want to face the inevitable impending decline of their own power, of their own mortality. But the court jester is by his side, gently reminding, chiding, and treating him for his illusions. The one person who can tell the king anything, because he loves the king, and the king knows that, and therefore he's willing to listen. So, take yourself lightly. Practice seriously, but take yourself lightly. Because we're not really concerned with trying to answer philosophical questions, academic nitpicking. We want a direct experience of the truth. But it is open to multi-levels of interpenetration. So in terms of the science of hermeneutics, how you can see it this way, see it that way, and then eventually drop all positions. Because you don't want to lay your own interpretation on top of what's happening in the world, because there are so many things in the world that seem to obscure our understanding of what's really going on. It's complex. But if you can cut through and let go of your own attachments, the world becomes vivid and intense. Right away. It doesn't have to be made that way. It is that way. And you join into the dance. So I all invite you to take some time to sit quietly. All the big boys and girls sit. And for a longer period of time than most of us are willing to devote to it. But if you want successive stages of mental absorption and let go completely of sense attachments and the mental discourse that keeps your mind spinning out its own tales of what's going on, sit quietly for a long time. And then remember, when you have to make choice, that thought is cause and experience or effect is what happens as a result of the thought cause. Thought is cause, and every condition in your life is an effect. So change your internal vantage point instead of your outer circumstance, and have what we call positive anticipation, not negative expectation. And then you will be a deliberate creator in a universe that is responsive to your vibration and not just a respondent. Have a great day. Look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.